going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to another Final Order Cutoff recommendations and speculation. And guys, I gotta tell you, making this video this way now, because I did change it up, this is not a video that's all about speculation. I am gonna talk a little bit about speculation, but most of this video is just me telling you guys about the really cool books and really cool covers that are on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. So that way you guys have the opportunity to either pre-order these books yourself if you really like these covers or these stories, or you can tell your local comic book shop, hey, Phil or Tom or Bill or whoever runs your local comic book shop, I saw this book on Bruce and Stephanie Comics video. I think it's really cool. Can you please make sure you order me one of these and put it in my pull box? And it is just like lifted some pressure off me, and I feel better and I feel excited to make this video again. It's just, I really enjoy telling you guys about really cool things that I see comic book wise. And the pressure of putting out the best spec video was just, I don't know, I guess it was just too much for me. But guys, do not forget, if you guys are really into speculation and you want the best speculation, check the two places I always tell you guys about. The Comic Book Frontier, which is a great Facebook group. It's linked down in the description below. It's run by my good friend Al, and he will update his Final Order Cutoff speculation all the way up until the order deadline dates. And there's also coverprice.com, and that article is written by Lefteros. He is a great community member, and he just writes some of the best speculation out there, and he puts it out every single weekend. I'm not sure what day it usually drops, but it's probably Saturday. But guys, today is a big day. Today is August 29th of 2024, and my son Nate turns 15 today. Happy birthday, Nate. I hope you have the most fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed all the gifts that you got this morning. And yeah, 15 is a big year. You're just 2 years away from being able to drive. If you lived in the state of New Hampshire where I grew up, you'd be driving in just a year, because in New Hampshire, you can drive at 16. But here in New York State, you gotta wait till 17. So I'm sorry, Nate. You gotta wait 2 more years, but you are right around the corner from driving. But he does start high school on Wednesday, so that's also really exciting for him. And guys, this weekend is Labor Day weekend. Another thing to be really excited about. Stephanie and I are leaving Saturday morning to go upstate New York to my sister's house. We're gonna have a big barbecue and pool weekend. It's gonna be absolutely awesome. So one last thing before we dive into the actual video. Guys, if you guys are interested in ordering any of the books that I'm going to show in today's video, you guys need to get your pre-orders in by September. You heard that right. September 2nd of 2024, which is this upcoming Monday. So yeah, let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into my favorite part of this video, which are my cover liver picks. Just a quick reminder, guys, before we dive into these covers, if you guys pre-order by this Monday, which is September 2nd, you can save up to 20% off the cover price on these books, unless they're a ratio book. If they're a ratio book, you cannot save that 20%, but if they're an open order book, you can save up to 20% off the cover price of these books. All right, guys, that's all the information. Let's go ahead and dive into these covers. And first up is Horizon Experiment, the Marchurian one-shot. This is the cover B. It's a variant cover done by Tula Lote, and it's gorgeous. It is very provocative, but in the not super sexual way, because you don't see too much, but everything is hidden in just the precise way. It is gorgeous. Tula Lote she did such a fantastic job on this cover, in my opinion. Now guys, next up is another one-shot. This is Old Dog Operations, the one-shot, the cover B variant, done by Tula Lote. Back-to-back Lote covers. So good. Both of these covers are like just fantastic in their own way, and I just love the way she does softness around the edges of all of her characters. It's so good. All right, guys, next up is Universal Monsters Frankenstein issue number 2, the cover E, which is the 1 in 50 ratio variant, done by a name I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. It's up on screen right now. This cover is fantastic. Get some flowers growing up and around a Frankenstein skull. So good. Next up, we have Conan the Barbarian, issue number 15, the cover A. I love when this cover A is on this list. This one is done by Muhammad Asrar. This is fantastic. Every single one of these covers I love, done by this artist, and this one is so, so good. It's a little sexy. Conan looks freaking epic, and there's like giant monster in the background. Such a great cover. Next up is Hello Darkness, issue number 3, the cover A, and there is a version of this. I forgot what letter it is. I didn't put it down in my notes. I'll make sure I put it on there during the editing of this video. This is done by Paulo Rivera, and it's fantastic. It is so good. In the Virgin, you see her butt cheeks. So if you're really into butt cheeks, that could be the cover for you. All right, guys, next up is another cover for Hello Darkness, issue number 3 with the cover C variant done by Matteo Scalera. Fantastic. Scalera is just a fantastic artist. Next up is a really cool cover. I found this one for a new number 1. This is The Crow, Dead Time, issue number 1. This is the cover B, black and white variant done by Brow? I don't know how to pronounce that, but this is a really, really cool cover. Now, there is an exclusive variant that is this exact same cover, but colored, which is weird. You would think the exclusive would be the black and white, but they went with the black and white for the cover B, which I guess is better because I think the color doesn't look as good as the black and white. All right, guys, next up is Feral, issue number 6 with the cover D, which is a 1:25 ratio variant done by Maria Wolf. Now, it's taken me a little while to actually appreciate the artwork of Maria Wolf, but the more and more I see of her artwork, the more and more I like. And this one right here is actually pretty freaking good. All right, guys, next up is Zatanna, Bring Down the House, the cover B variant done by Joelle Jones. How good? How good is this cover? This is so good. Joelle Jones needs to be on more covers because her artwork is absolutely fantastic. I think this week, or no, last week's New Comic Book Day, there was that Witchblade issue number 2 done by Joelle Jones, which was freaking fantastic. All right, guys, next up is DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis, issue number 1 with the cover A done by Dan Hipp. I am a big Dan Hipp fan, and I actually did some, I shouldn't say Googling, some eBaying. I just put in Dan Hipp variant covers on eBay, and there are so many that I don't have that are so good. But I gotta make sure I pick up this one because I love his artwork so much. I think it's a certain style that just speaks to me, and that's why I like to share it with you guys. I like to share the covers that speak to me. Now, guys, next up, SPEC. This is pure SPEC, or I shouldn't say pure SPEC. This is a great SPEC pick in my opinion. This is X-Men issue number 5. This is the Jean Grey variant plus the 1:100 Virgin ratio variant done by J. Scott Campbell. This might be my favorite J. Scott Campbell variant for X-Men so far. It's so good. Now, I do really like the Magic one, but this one right here, I don't know, it's just a little bit better in my opinion. Now, guys, next up is not a SPEC pick. This is just a great cover in my opinion. This is Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, issue number 6 with the cover A done by Mark Brooks. I've loved every single cover A for this Ghost Spider run because it's done by Mark Brooks, and the way he does faces and poses and everything is so great. All right, guys, next up is a great cover. This is Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 1. The cover A done by David Partour. Is that how you say it? I don't know, but look at this one. It just looks really, I don't know, energy, filled with energy and just like motion, and I don't know, it's freaking fantastic in my opinion. I think Moon Knight looks badass. All right, guys, next up is Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes Special, issue number 1 with the variant cover done by Jay Gonzo. I don't know, there's just a certain look to this cover that is just so cool in my opinion. I'm sure there's a word for it that would describe it a lot better, but this cover is so great. Now, guys, next up is Predator vs. Black Panther, issue number 1 with the second print 1:25 Virgin ratio variant done by Linnell Francis Yu. Now, in my opinion, when you put the trade dress on this, it kind of takes away from it. But when you make it a virgin, it just makes it look absolutely fantastic. But guys, let's continue because yes, there are more covers. How many more covers are there? There are a lot this week. There are 6 more covers. All right, guys, next up is a really cool cover. This is Deadpool, issue number 7, the variant cover done by Peach Momoko. I don't really love every single Momoko cover out there, but this one featuring, I forgot what her name is, Deadpool's daughter as Deadpool is really good in my opinion. Now, guys, next up is a book that I am not personally collecting, but this cover I'm 100% going to pick up. This is Venom War Spider-Man issue number 3, the variant cover done by my boy, the man, Dyke Ruan. How freaking badass does Spider-Man look in this? He's got the Venom suit back on, so this is Peter Parker, and he's got the chains that Dylan Brock used to use, or maybe he's still using, I don't know, but he looks epic. And there's that Mary Jane as Jackpot in the background. So good. All right, guys, next up is Venom War issue number 3, the variant cover done by Scotty Young. Now, what is great about this cover is that you've got Dylan Brock and you've got Eddie Brock doing Thumb War, and he says 1, 2, 3, 4, let's have a Venom War. That is fantastic in my opinion. That is so good. All right, guys, 3 more covers. All right, next up is another cover for Deadpool issue number 7. This is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Torrin Clark. Yeah, I just think this is an absolutely fantastic what's it called? Design variant. This is so good. All right, guys, 2 more covers. Next up is Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue number 1. Way too long of a title, but that's okay. This is the cover C, and there's also a 1 in 100 sketch ratio variant done by Jim Lee. Now, I will say, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't love all the covers that Jim Lee has been putting out recently, either for Marvel or DC. I just think he's lost a little bit of his touch for some reason. He's not drawing as often, or maybe he's getting old and his hands hurt. I don't know. But this cover right here, featuring Batman, looks like old school, like when he was drawing for Batman in Hush, the Hush saga. That was awesome, Jim Lee. That was epic, Jim Lee. And this cover right here reminds me a lot of how I used to draw back then. All right, guys, the final cover that I want to share with you guys is Lobo Cancellation Special, issue number 1, with the cover B variant done by Simon Beasley. Fantastic. Such a great cover. I don't know if I'm going to pick this up myself, but this cover right here is so freaking good. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is all about speculation. I went through every single book on this weekend's final order cutoff for Marvel and DC, read the synopsises, checked Key Collector, and I put together a small list of books that have something in the guts. Alright guys, so these are all the books, after reading the solicitations and checking Key Collector, that I found have a little something in the guts. Now, make sure you guys are doing your own research. Make sure you guys are checking the Comic Book Frontier, again linked down in the description below, and coverprice.com before you put any speculation orders in for this weekend's final order cutoff. Just do your own research. It's the best thing that you guys can do. So, let's go ahead and dive into these books that I found. First up is Green Arrow, issue number 16. Now, the identity of the character Bright might possibly be revealed in this issue, and his first full appearance was in Night Terror's Night End, issue number 1. Now, next up is Titans, issue number 15. The solicitation here mentions a major death will shake the DCU. Which death is it? And is it truly going to shake the DCU? If it does, I can see that possibly being a small key, but we'll have to wait and see who is going to die in this issue. All right, guys, next up is Justice Society of America, issue number 12. Now, this is the final issue of this current run, and sometimes final issues could garnish a little extra money on the secondary market in the future if this run, for some reason, gets popular. I don't see that happening, but I gotta give you guys the information. All right, guys, next up is Absolute Power, Task Force 7, issue number 7, and the solicitation here mentions a new generation of fighters from every corner of the world have joined forces to rise up, I guess like against Amanda Waller. Are we going to get any new heroes out of that? I'm not sure, but it's a good idea to keep an eye on this book just in case a new character is introduced in this book and then they become popular for one reason or another. This would be a good buy. Now, I do see Ghostmaker in the background of that image, and he is one of the coolest characters that is underused in my opinion. All right, guys, next up is Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue number 1, and this is a 10-issue limited series continuing the story from the Long Halloween special of 2021, and the final installment that began with the Long Halloween of 1996. Is that speculation? I don't know, but I think it's important for a book like this because Batman The Long Halloween was a very popular book, so maybe in the future, like way off into the future, this one will be important as well. All right, guys, next up is Deadpool, issue number 7, in Ellie Camacho. That's the name I was looking for earlier. Ellie Camacho assumes the Deadpool mantle after the death of Wade Wilson. Now, there is a lot of controversy about the first appearance of Ellie Camacho as Deadpool because this actually happened in a previous run of Deadpool, but maybe this one, or issue number 6, I should say, of this one right now, is the first appearance. You guys can debate it however you want, but guys, just so you know, Ellie Camacho assumes the mantle of Deadpool in this issue right here. And there are some really, really cool variant covers for this. All right, guys, 2 more books. Next up is Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes Special, issue number 1, with the first appearance of Phantasma, a Colombian roller derby champ with a cursed secret. All right, guys, the final book is Star Wars The Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising, issue number 1. Now, this has a bunch of first appearances. This has the first appearance of Bragra? I don't know how to pronounce that. A Purge Trooper Commander. The first appearance of Moff Ubrick Adelhard, whoever that is. And the possible first appearance of the Defiant Imperial. The possible first appearance of Reyna Oshkur. And the solicitation here mentions, who are the mysterious and deadly acolytes of the Beyond? What is the new villain's connection to Darth Vader? So, if you guys know someone that knows a lot about Star Wars, I would definitely reach out to them and ask them, is this an important book? Because there's a bunch of first appearances, possible first appearances, and in the solicitations mentioned something really cool about this. Find out for them, because I cannot tell you. I'm just giving you the information that I found on the internet. All right, guys. So those are all the books that had a little bit of speculation. Honestly, I don't think I would spend any money on any of these books. Maybe the Ghost Rider Robbery special that Jay Gonzo cover, but other than that, I don't think any of these books are truly worthy of you spending money on for speculation. All right, guys, so those are the books that had a little something in the guts for speculation. Now we're gonna go ahead and move over to the final section of today's video. I didn't find any new number ones that I thought were really cool, but I did find some ongoing books that I wanna make sure you guys know about, so make sure you guys have those on your pull list. And I'm calling this new section, which if you guys have a better name for this section, guys, let me know down in the comments below. But this is my final order cutoff, ongoing buzz. All right, guys, I will make this short, quick, and sweet, or sweet, quick, and short, or however the saying goes. But guys, there's only 4 books on this list, so let's go ahead and get started. In the first book up, I missed the first issue, but there's a bunch of people that commented on my Wednesday pull list video when issue number 1 came out saying, hey, why didn't you pick up Stand Still issue number 1? It was absolutely awesome. How is this independent not on your list? Guys, I missed it. I'm a human being. But guys, Stand Still issue number 2 is on this weekend's final order cutoff. It's written by Lee Lorridge and it has art by Andrew Robinson, and a lot of people are talking about it. And if you're into time travel, this book is probably for you. All right, guys, next up is Zatanna Bring Down the House issue number 4. This is coming from the writer of Mariko Tamaki and has art by Javier Rodriguez. I read issues number 1 and 2, and they are fantastic. This book, I should say, is not just a cover to buy, because there have been some amazing covers for this. The story written in this book is so interesting, and the art by Javier Rodriguez is freaking incredible. It is so good. His panel layouts and page layouts are like some of the best I've seen in a very long time. They are so good. The guys, next up is like one of my favorite books right now. Make sure you guys are picking this book up and telling your shop about it. This is The Hunger in the Dusk, book 2, issue number 3, coming from the writer of G. Willow Wilson. It has art by Christian Wildgoose. If you're into fantasy books, this is a must-have pickup. This is like so great. It's such a great story. And it's just like, I don't know, it is so good. I'm not going to go into detail about this book. I've done it on the Wednesday pull list video for last week. Go watch that. It is just the best. All right, guys, the last book is Grimm, issue number 20. This is coming from the writer of Stephanie Phillips and art by Phil Vano. Now, I met her at Terrificon. She is so cool. She is super duper nice. And I actually asked her how many issues of this book there is. I believe she said 32, but I could be completely wrong. But this does have a definitive end, and it is coming up, and I'm gonna be super sad because I really think the writing in this book is super duper strong, and the art by Phil Vano and his character designs are absolutely fantastic. This is a great story about friendship and love and family. There's so many great parts about this book. It's a great read. And if you have a chance to meet Stephanie Phillips, definitely do, because she's super nice. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. That's it for this weekend's final order cutoff. There are so many more books on this weekend's final order cutoff. Take a minute, guys. There are links down in the description below to multiple places that you can like peruse this weekend's final order cutoff. One last reminder, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, independent publishers have until tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern to lock in what books are going to be on this weekend's final order cutoff. So there might be a book that I talked about in today's video that is actually not on this weekend's final order cutoff because they moved it to next week or the following week, or maybe the book gets canceled for one reason or another. So take that into consideration and make sure you guys are perusing throughout the weekend, or I should say after tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, just to make sure that, you guys are pre-ordering the correct books. All right, guys. That is it. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, we are at the end. And if you guys are still watching, I just gotta say, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Now, if you guys have not done this just yet, I would highly appreciate it. Smash that like button. It helps the channel out so much. Now, last but not least, if you guys watch that video and you guys enjoy comic book content, especially current comic book content and future comic books that are not out yet, but you want to get that information about books that are coming 2 months down the line, this is the channel for you. So if you're not subscribed, get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications so you guys are notified when I post new videos, and smash that like button. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me this week. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend if you're living in the States. If you guys are abroad, have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys next week on Tuesday with the Wednesday poll list. All right, guys, have yourself a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.